For 5 seasons, we've highlighted countless different athletes for nearly every team here at Marywood. As we begin our 6th season, we start at the top with Marywood's athletic director, Patrick Murphy. With a full semester under his belt, Murphy has now gotten a good feel for the programs. Now, it's time to bring him back and put him in the hot seat for a second time here in our studio. It's a new era for BTA. I'm your host, Brendan Murphy, and Season 6 of Beyond the Arch starts right now. So without any further ado, let's put Patrick Murphy in the hot seat here at Beyond the Arch. So, Mr. Murphy, it's a pleasure to have you back on Beyond the Arch.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
So the first thing I wanted to ask you was, now that you've had a semester here at Marywood under your belt, what have you seen that really excites you, and what have you seen that you think could maybe be improved?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say this. It was a great fall. We had an incredible fall. All of our sports, I couldn't be more proud of them. They either, we had field hockey, we had cross country, went to the NCAA tournament, and those that didn't, they played for championships, and even like volleyball and men's soccer made incredible strides since the prior year. What excites me about Marywood is I really like the leadership here. I think we have incredible leadership at the vice president and president's level, and they're very supportive of athletics, which makes my job a lot easier. I also inherited an incredible staff, so I have to tip my hat to Dr. Gunning, who had been the athletic director here for, was it 28 or 30 years prior to that. She made all the right hires, and she put all the right people in place to make my job so much easier.
So that really kind of leads me into my next question, was how was really the transition from Dr. Gunning to you? How was she able to help your transition be as seamless as possible?
Oh, she was a huge help to me. From day one, we had meetings all the time, and she couldn't have been better as far as the transition went. And I still feel that I can call on her at any point in time. She's down in Florida now, which makes it a little tougher to get a hold of her. But I couldn't have asked for a smoother transition at all than what I had here at Marywood-University.
So you spoke a little bit about the teams that made some championship runs, especially field hockey, who had one of the best seasons in program history.
Correct.
What can you take away from seeing a team like that go on a run like they did and look and say, how can you get better for next season? Like, how can you challenge a team to do that?
Well, there's a lot of different ways that we can define success. The easy one everyone takes a look at is, how many wins do we have versus how many losses do we have? But, as an administrator, we look at a lot of different things. We look at, are we graduating our student athletes? Are our student athletes in trouble? Do we stay within the rules and regulations of the NCAA? Are we frugal with our spending? There's a lot of different things that add up in my mind to success. Now, if we take a look at field hockey, yeah, they had an incredible run, probably the best run in program history. But 20 years from now, we're still going to be trying to improve on everything we do. So, last year is in the books. Now we focus in on next year for all of our sports. And, if we don't win the championship, it doesn't mean it's been a failure of a year, because there's certain things that when you talk to the coach, Julie, she could probably sit there and say, you know what, yeah, we did win the league, and we did have a strong showing in the NCAA tournament, but we could have done a couple other things a little bit differently through the year. So, we're always striving to do the best we can and try to get better. And that's going to be my same answer 20 years from now, too.
Well, I know that you and I have talked about some things that you'd like to incorporate going forward. So can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you'd like to see improve moving forward?
Yeah, you know, one of the first things I did when I came here is we started up a licensing and merchandising program, and I got university buy-in on that, which is important because what that does, it registers our mark so that no one else, you know, can steal it or use it and all of that. The second thing is I really want to do is I really want to address our facilities. I want to take a look at improving them on a capital project standpoint, but also on an aesthetic standpoint. I brought a company in to take a look at some of the different things with some of the digital creative things that they can do to really dress our facilities up and have a real impact on not only the student athletes that we currently have here, but use it as a recruiting tool to attract, you know, student athletes coming in. And you know, that's a big thing now. A lot of schools are doing it, and I don't want to fall behind the 8 ball. In other words, I want to be in the forefront as opposed to chasing someone else who's already had it done.
So when you speak of facilities, I'm sure by now you've gotten to meet Rob, who takes care of the baseball and softball fields. And having played baseball for a couple of years here, I've gotten to see the work that he does. So what do you think that, what's your opinion of Rob as you've gotten to know him a little bit and how he really takes care of the fields?
I think Rob is probably the best groundskeeper I've ever seen at any level. At any level. He's an extremely talented guy, and I think right before Christmas he sent me an email to myself and a few other people in the department where one of our fields won an award or was up for an award, you know, based on whatever their criteria is, and I don't know what the criteria is, but he keeps everything in tip-top shape, and he's as talented a person that I have seen at any level, anywhere.
And I mean, he comes from a good background. He used to take care of the fields at PNC Field for the Rail Riders. And one thing he always told us playing baseball was that if we try to mess with the field at all, if we try to rake or do anything, he basically would yell at us because he's like, no, I want it to be perfect. I want to do it all by myself.
Yeah, well, you know, God bless him. He's done a heck of a job.
That he has, and it's really helped improve the way our fields look. Because, I mean, as you said, aesthetics are everything. And just at least for my time here, looking at the turf field, looking at the softball field, the baseball field, they really have come a long way. I saw him post something on Twitter, I think it was last year, of a before and after from when he first got here from the baseball and softball fields. It was just completely night and day.
Yeah, you know, I'm pleased with the facilities the way they are. I just think that, and I call it low-hanging fruit, I think there's certain things that we can do to really dress them up even better than what they are. As far as the playing surface goes on all of our fields, in the court, it's fantastic. But there's certain things, like I said, that we can do, like branded windscreens, signage at the event or at the fields, or even when you walk into the gym or the arena. You know, there's certain things we can do on the windows, put athletes' likeness in the windows. You know, one of the first things I did on day one when I came here is I noticed when you go in the stairwell, it's bland. Well, it shouldn't be bland. In other words, we have a great product to sell. We have a great story to tell. So let's do it. Let's put it out there. And it's only going to help us in the recruiting of future student athletes here at Marywood.
That's a great point. Well, we're going to take a break here on Beyond the Arch, but when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Marywood Athletic Director Patrick Murphy.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back. Let's continue our conversation with Patrick Murphy, and the one thing that is probably on a lot of people's minds is now that you've had some time to get yourself acclimated to the area.
Okay.
What's your opinions on it? Now, I know last season you spoke with Nicolo about your first impressions, but now that you've had some time to get used to it, what do you think about the area now?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It reminds me, I grew up in upstate New York, so it actually is about a 3-hour ride to, or 3-hour car ride to where I grew up. So it reminds me quite a bit of upstate New York. And no, I'm very comfortable here. I like it a lot. Coming from Connecticut, it's a little different. Connecticut's more of a suburb of New York City, so it's a little bit more fast-paced. But the area, I absolutely love the area here.
Have you found a good pizza spot yet?
A good pizza spot. You know what? I don't think I've had pizza since I've been here yet.
Really?
No, I don't think I have. Nope.
Have you had some people from Scranton trying to tell you that it's called a tray and not a pie?
I've had that, and there's a thing, what is it called, Old Forge Pizza here?
Yeah.
Now, what is the Old Forge Pizza exactly?
So the Old Forge Pizza is like, that I can understand them calling it a tray, because it's literally, it's a square, well, it's more like a rectangle style pizza, and it's basically made the same as a normal round pie, but they call it a tray, and they apparently Old Forge decided to call themselves the pizza capital of the world. Now, I've had Old Forge pizza. It's good, not great.
Okay.
But I would definitely recommend taking a ride up there to try it. But
well, I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that. I wonder how like the hardcore Italian people in New York City would think about Old Forge pizza, but.
See, my family's from New York, so both my parents
Long Island, right?
Both my parents grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So
so you know the difference.
I know. Yeah.
All right. So you know how
it's
the people.
The water.
Yeah.
It's all about the water, and anybody who tries to say that it's not is sadly mistaken, because New York pizza is just so much better than everywhere else.
Or even Connecticut, New Haven.
Yeah.
I mean, people love New Haven pizza, and they take it very seriously there. So. You know, pizza capital of the world might be a stretch. I don't know. I'll have to try.
Well, that's because they're close enough to the city to get some good water.
That's it.
I mean, that's the real difference. But what about? I know you said you're kind of a wing guy. So what? You find a good place to get wings?
Chicken wings. I've had wings at Gavin's. I thought they were pretty good.
They're pretty good. I've only been there once, but they're.
Yeah,
they're
I live out by Lake Wallenpaupack, so there's a place called Our Place.
Mm-hmm.
That I've been at once, and I think tonight's wing night actually, but I thought they were pretty good. Chicken wings are chicken wings to me. I can't tell the difference between a wing anywhere, so they all taste the same.
Well, you have the different ones that they try to go thick on the sauce, they try to fry them too much. I mean, there's a couple of places around here that I've been to that I've started to like. There's one on the other side of town over by the University of Scranton, Kelly's is really good. They do wing nights on Wednesday nights. Another place, Zaleski's, is pretty good. And, I mean, I enjoy going out and to get wings, but.
Good for you. Good for you. I like the dry rub more than the
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of that.
No.
But, so what else about the area has really caught your attention in the few months that you've been here?
Well, it's absolutely beautiful here. You know, the other day I was driving out at that Montage mountain range, and I have some friends coming out, and I think July 4th weekend they have a music festival there, so I'll have a house full that weekend. But no, there's just a lot of things here. I mean, you're close enough to New York City. The area is beautiful. You've got mountains for skiing. You've got lakes for boating. I'm a big boater. I love to play golf. You have all that here. It's absolutely wonderful.
Really caught my attention when you said skiing.
Yeah?
I'd consider myself to be a relatively good skier.
Water skier or snow skier?
Well, snow skier.
Okay.
I've always wanted to try water skiing though.
Okay.
But I went.
Totally different.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Totally different.
Well, because you also got to deal with the waves and everything. It's almost like when you're trying to ski through moguls. It's a little difficult.
Well, water skiing is more of a strength sport. You know, I mean, you got a boat pulling you up. You know, your whole thing is the resistance against the boat and the water. So it's more of a strength type thing, whereas downhill skiing is more balance and technique and all of that. So
yeah, they taught us, because haven't been a ski instructor for a while. They've taught us they called it burp. I think it's balance, edging, rotary, and pressure for when you're first teaching.
So you're good.
Yeah, I did some stuff with Professional Ski Instructors of America over the last few years. I mean, it's fun, but
yeah.
And then, have you gotten to play some golf in the area?
I just played at the only time I played was when we did our departmental golf outing at Elmhurst Country Club.
Yeah.
And I literally was on a job maybe 3 weeks at that point, so I played that course with our basketball coaches.
I tell you what, one course that you definitely got to try when you're around here is Glenmara. Now, granted,
I've
it's
heard of that.
Yeah. Now that's where the golf team plays out of. So I'm sure Coach Lloyd can get you on the course, because he knows a lot of people in the area.
All right,
but
good to know.
The place is absolutely beautiful.
Good to know.
So I know we were talking back in the back about, like, you asked me what my handicap is. Now I'm gonna pose the same question to you. What would be yours?
Oh, I'm handicapped.
Really?
Huh? I don't know. I guess, you know, I guess I would probably be in the high 80s at this stage.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, I'm a lot older. I've been playing a lot longer than you have. I should be better, but I'm not.
Yeah, you go out and have some fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take one more break here on Beyond the Arch, but when we come back, we'll conclude our conversation with Patrick Murphy.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back. Well, now, one thing that is probably the most important question that I could possibly ask you would be
good.
what what would you say are your goals moving forward? Now I know you've seen what you've seen in the fall sports. Now you've seen a lot of basketball this year and some swimming, and moving into the spring. What would you say your goals are for first the spring, and then second moving forward for fall and winter sports?
Well, for the spring, obviously, it's going to be what it's going to be at this stage, you know. But you know, I hope that we're competitive across the board in all of our spring sports. You know, I was spoiled in the fall that we had such success. I actually had nothing to do with that success. We did, like I said, we had good coaches and all of that. You know, going forward, my goal here really is I want to be in the top third in our league year in and year out. So, you know, we've got to figure out a way, and that's my job to do that, to have sustainable success. You know, basketball, you know, we've struggled this year in basketball. I have a reason, or I think I know a little bit why. You know, on the men's side, we lost 2 1,000-point scorers off last year's team. I mean, that's not the easiest thing to replace in a year, you know, so this was going to be a rebuilding year. Jen Carlton was my first hire here, and I hired her literally probably 4 weeks, and I may be being generous there. It may have been 3 weeks before her first practice. So she didn't really have an opportunity to go out and recruit either. So so I'm kind of disappointed a little bit in the one loss record for our basketball teams, but I'm not pushing the panic button whatsoever. I mean, we just got to get a little bit better, and we got to figure out a way to have sustained success.
Now, as we move into the spring, I know lacrosse is just starting to get underway, baseball, softball, outdoor track. What do you think could be a key for those teams? Now, obviously they have to battle the cold in the beginning of the season, but what do you think could be a key for one of those teams to make a run?
Well, if you're talking about baseball or softball, it really comes down to pitching, especially on softball. I mean, if you have a really good pitcher on your roster, that makes a huge difference. As far as lacrosse goes, the women are going to be strong. The men, I want to say, were picked 4th. The women were picked 2nd. The challenge we have in men's lacrosse is a couple things. Is that number one, well, actually women's lacrosse too, we're not really in a hotbed for high school lacrosse.
Yeah.
So we've got to go steal players from hotbeds that some of our competing schools in our conference are situated in. So that makes that a little bit of an uphill climb. Compounding that on the men's side is that Cabrini in our league won the national championship last year. So, so you know, we have strong teams from a lacrosse standpoint in this league. So that's going to be a challenge, but we're up for the challenge. We have good coaches here. In fact, I'll take it a step further. I think we have great coaches here. So if I can get them the resources to be successful, then let's pray for the best.
Well, I had a question that, well, one of our crew members had a question for you, and I wanted to be sure that I asked you about it.
Okay.
Immaculata just instituted an esports program. And I believe they said it was coming for next academic year. Could you possibly see esports becoming a part of a Marywood program? Maybe not in the near future, but maybe down the line.
Well, it's funny. When I had my interview here on campus, that question was posed to me by the president, what my thoughts were on esports, and I'll share my thoughts with you. Esports is not going away. Okay, it's only going to get bigger and better and all of that. So we're in a precarious situation a little bit because we don't want to be the last school in. So we're at this stage, we're taking a hard look at it. You You know, I never thought that athletics was the right place to house esports. I always thought it was more like a club program or student activity program. But, you know, wherever it's housed, it is what it is. But it's something we've looked at. I've had someone that was a graduate here who was interested in potentially coaching it, did some research for me. I've gone down to Lafayette, looked at their facilities down there. It's pretty impressive. Now, one of the things that I'm to understand here that's a little bit of a detriment at Marywood is, I guess in Dunmore we don't have the bandwidth or something like that to handle it. So I don't know if we at this stage can invest that type of money to bring that here, or would we be better off maybe renting a facility down in Scranton. You know, those decisions are at a higher pay grade than I'm at. But I will say this, esports is here to stay. I don't want to be the last one in, but it's very much on the radar of the upper administration here at Marywood.
Well, I think she'll be glad to hear that it was at least talked about.
Good. I'm glad I can bring good news.
All right. Well, I definitely appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Helping on our premiere of season 6 of Beyond the Arch. So we're gonna wrap up the show right after this.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys. Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me. That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I'd like to thank Mr. Murphy for coming on the show tonight. We've got a jam-packed season for you with 9 new players coming onto the show. Not only that, but one-on-ones will be back and better than ever. So go ahead and subscribe to TV-Marywood's official YouTube page to watch full episodes of the show, including seasons past. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and like us on Facebook. From all of us here at TV-Marywood, have a great night.